Just imagine what that is going to be like. What type of ripple effect, as you say, that would have. It would be like nothing we've ever seen before. And that's why I want people to not be so quick to dismiss this. Because there is something massive. Like, I think a logical question that somebody would be asking right now is, what would be the benefit of Kojima pulling off an ARG on this scale? One that's so risky, it could backfire if handled incorrectly. Again, this is why you hire somebody who specializes in ARGs. You know, you hire this person because you don't want it to go south. Because if it does, it's a risky game. But it seems so Kojima-like, right? It's because there's so much to be gained from a successful ARG, from successfully pulling something like this off. Think about it. I want you to think about this as well. If you are Sony, and you are even Kojima, if Sony somehow, some way managed to effectively bridge the gap, the divide that was created between Kojima and Konami, if Sony was the one to successfully do that and somehow get Kojima on board with a Silent Hill for PS5, right? You don't just announce that, even at your event. That's something that's so special. It needs special treatment. It needs something much bigger than just a simple, hey guys, like, I want you to look at the reveal for Death Stranding. Okay, that was as unceremonious as it gets. It was a big deal and it was exciting. Don't get me wrong, it made waves. Like, Sony was like, we got Kojima. We got him. We got him, boys. Don't worry, he's making our exclusive game. We don't know what it is, but we're going to help this man out. We're going to support him. And if I want you to think about this as well. People are like, well, how in God's name could Sony convince Kojima? Well, think of it like this. Like, how could they convince Kojima to be basically okay with Konami again? Think of it like this. Sony is the one that was there for Kojima. Sony is the one that literally went out there and they're like, Kojima, we're going on a road trip. You're going to visit all our studios. We're going to give you funding. We're going to give you anything you need, bro. Like, we're going to give you our engine. Herman Holst is close with him. You know, it's just like Sony was so involved that it's like if Sony were to go to Kojima and be like, listen, we have the Silent Hill license, and Konami said they are okay if you want to do this, and we think you should do it. If you're Kojima, I mean, I know that he was burned like no other, but at the same time, it's like he wanted to make Silent Hills. He knows the fans want Silent Hill, you know? And he knows that this would be the biggest freaking reveal in history, man. In gaming history, it would be the biggest. It would be crazy. So I'm not saying it's certain. I'm just trying to explain to you, like, how something like this can come to be. How it's not as crazy as you may think it is. It's when you think of, like, the bridge between Konami, like, why would Konami be advertising Silent Hill merch right now? Why? I mean, yeah, I know they're a corporation and, you know, they just care about money and maybe they see this as a good opportunity, but it's like, in reality, if this isn't what we think it is, that's just bad for them. Like, that's just going to result in unnecessary, completely avoidable backlash for them. You know, it doesn't make sense for them to be doing that. I don't know. Again, I know a lot of this is wishful thinking, and I want it to be known that even if everything I'm saying does turn out to be correct, you know. So here's a crazy one. What if the breakup with Konami wasn't really true? Kojima tweeted 2012, if this goes wrong, what I plan, then this is the end for me. He tweeted something like this in 2012. Yeah, so I've seen people take it really far, where they're like, so what if the whole breakup between Konami and Kojima isn't real? Now that's taking it too far. All right. Konami literally burned at the stake for that. That's not something. I mean, the only way I could conceive that is like Kojima convinced the head of Konami and the president of Konami, we're going to do this crazy ARG and don't worry, it's going to work out in your favor in the end. And it like didn't work out in their favor at all. But they're like, Kojima's like, see ya. This will work out in like 5 years. Don't worry. The ARG is going to be, it's 6 years in the making, you know? It's ridiculous to think about that, but it's funny. It's crazy how things have worked out. I mean, I was there. I was there for the, you know, Joaquin Mogren, Moby Dick Studios. And when I tell you guys, like, I knew like I know now. Back then, I wasn't on YouTube then, but you can ask Brown Sugar. You know, I don't know when he'll be on again, but, you know, he's, some of you, I know a lot of you don't know who he is, but he was on the channel a couple times. He's my good friend. You can ask him. I harassed him every day with my theories, with my conspiracies about Metal Gear Solid 5 that whole time. But I remember before we knew it was Metal Gear 5, I was like, this, and I know it was easier to point out then than it is now, but I was like, oh, no, this is Metal Gear. Even my wife remembers, you know, she was like, yeah, I remember she told me that she didn't believe it was Metal Gear Solid 5. And I'm like, this is Metal Gear. Like, this is Kojima. And she was just telling me recently how, like, yeah, you know, I didn't believe it, and you were right. And I'm like, I feel that like, I know it's Kojima. I feel it in my soul, man. Like, I will be a broken person if this is not Kojima. That's how much I feel it. At this point, if it's not Kojima, then Hassan Karaman is the next Kojima. I'm deeming it that right now. He's the next Kojima. All right? If it's not really him. I have to say that. Because I just don't... It can't just all be coincidence. I feel it. Like, I literally... Like, I feel it, you know? This isn't even a matter of I believe. Broken MBG? Yeah. You are going to see Broken MBG if this is not what we think it is. Again, I just want you to know they're so interconnected at this point that it's damaging. It's damaging. If this is not what we all suspect it is, this is legitimately damaging to all the brands involved.